Yo, 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 hope you're having a good day. It's a bit cold outside, so if you're going out, I would recommend getting some long sleeve shirt or whatever. So far, I didn't feel any wind, so it's pretty nice out if you wanna go and just sit down, lay down, hang out. Anyways, today we're gonna be watching the Game Awards situation. Now, I did watch the Game Awards on the day, I want to say released, they streamed it. Now, I did go to bed like an hour or two before it ended. Then when I woke up, all of a sudden people were like talking trash about like a game or something, or like the awards themselves, which was pretty weird considering like what I saw was fine.
Last night was the Game Awards, and there was a stat that chat was regurgitating that I didn't believe. I thought it was so outlandish they must have escaped from a mental institution and were spewing a bunch of mumbo-jumbo until I checked and verified the authenticity. The claim was that last year's Game Awards had higher viewership than the Super Bowl.
That's true. It had like 130 something million, right?
I said, well, that's a bunch of fiddlesticks.
Actually, on the day that it happened, or like the next day, I think Jeff Keighley himself said so, right? He like put a tweet out that he was like a higher viewership than the Super Bowl.
No way. Super Bowl had like 120 something million viewers. It was like the most watched Super Bowl ever. No way the Game Awards beat that. Turns out it did. Jeff Keighley hung his hog on the Super Bowl numbers. 154 million global viewers.
Where is the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl in that graph? Oh, it's here. Here's the thing, though. The Super Bowl, it's an American thing. So if you're not American, you're realistically not gonna watch the Super Bowl. It's like the NFL, right? Like basketball, American football. Those things are primarily American. Versus something like soccer, or I guess normal football, where it does have a wider audience. But I think even then it's primarily like Spanish, right? MLB, that's Men Love Boss? I don't know.
Super Bowl numbers.
I didn't even know there was like a Video Music Awards. Isn't this usually just the Grammys as well, though?
154 million global viewers. Now, Super Bowl is an event that mainly only Americans care about. I get that. Game Awards is international, but even still,
it's still amazing that they get like 100 and what, like 20 or 30
numbers. Blew my fucking mind. Blew my ass out. So it is like a super big deal, and I watch the Game Awards every year, but had no idea it was this big. And now that I have this knowledge locked away in the old steel...
So I think it got bigger during like Baldur's Gate, right? Like that year, like gaming as an audience just like expanded like really fast.
Trap up here. It makes the Game Awards final reveal from last night even more odd, just peculiar, because it is a blunder. That is the most important final reveal. And last night, boy howdy, did that one fall flat.
Alright, they released like a generic hero shooter as like the last announcement. Also, Jeff Keighley, he like hyped it up, I think. Right? That's about it. Which, like, I see the problem. After all, the game show is supposed to be entertainment. You would expect the last announcement, the whole reason you're like to be the last announcement usually is something you're supposed to stay up for, right? Like it's the biggest thing that's coming to the Game Awards. But they just put some like super shitty like Concord 2, they're calling it, type of game.
Unfortunately. And I know a lot of people,
which to be fair, it's a good decision business-wise, because business-wise, like, most people are like me. They stay up for a bit, they watch, like, most of the show, then they just watch the rest the next day.
have criticized Jeff Keighley, like playfully teasing about how he'll overhype things that don't warrant that level of glaze or
still, it's
anticipation.
It's a negative.
Where Jeff Keighley will sometimes,
I also wonder, it's possible that they just paid, right? They just paid more for that spot, so they just gave it to them, right? Because at the end of the day, like, you have to spend like millions to put like a trailer in the Game Awards, if I'm not wrong. Let me look. All right, like for instance, it says it cost $450K for a 3-minute slot, which is weird because I've heard it's a lot more. Then again, I am looking at it in this website called Military, but it's talking about like games, so this could be wrong. Which you are advertising the game to like 150 or whatever million viewers. So it makes sense that you're charging that price. Otherwise, there's gonna be like 1,000 people just requesting you to have their game. But still, it's like Jeff also like promotes like indie games and all that, right? Like, oh, he's a big fan of indie games. Indie games can't afford that money. Then again, I'm not really part of their team. Maybe they take less from indie games. Maybe the prices range depending on the size of your team and the size of your product. So it's cheaper for indies and more for the other ones. Then again, he also got a lot of hate for putting the indie games in the pre-show, not in like the main show.
You like biting your nails, like holy shit, what's he about to reveal? Because he's hyping it up so much. Like, in my numerous decades in the industry, I've never been this excited. This is my honor, my privileges.
To be fair, I feel like this is pretty normal, right? Doesn't he hype up like every game before? Like he talks about them?
This is the apotheosis of gaming. I present to you the world premiere for The Poop That Took a P2. As he's starting to get like tears in his eyes for it, and it's like, well,
I feel like that's pretty normal. Like hyping the audience up for like a trailer, like that's pretty normal.
I think you oversold this one a bit, to be honest with you. Though one that people point to is from last year where he revealed Okami. I do not think that's a good example of that because that is not overhyped. That genuinely is extremely exciting. I fucking love Okami and cannot wait for the new Okami.
I don't even remember
but he
that
does have a history of doing that occasionally, and last night was one of those examples for the final reveal.
Our final world premiere comes from 61 members of the team that built Apex Legends and Titanfall. 4 years ago, the principals founded a new independent...
But the moment you hear from the team that brought you X and X, it means the game's complete garbage. It's like, oh, hey, look at me, I brought coffees to the people who made, what they called, Halo 2. So I was basically part of the team, right, guys? Come, buy my game.
Studio with the hopes of pushing the shooter genre forward with a new original game.
If that doesn't put a boner in your trousers, nothing will. You cannot have a more hype introduction than that right there. Those sentences alone could make the Grinch's heart grow 3 seconds.
And to be fair, like, is he telling the truth? Because if he is, it's... like, he is saying it to hype you up. I guess it can be seen as misleading, right?
Sizes. And when I was watching this live, I actually thought for a moment we might be seeing a Titanfall 3 or, at the very least, a spiritual successor to Titanfall. But that's where they get you. Jeff's got you eating out of the palm of his hands right now. You're hook, line, and sinker buying into this delusion. Like, I have said for a long time, we will...
Dude, just because someone used to work in a team that made a good game doesn't mean they're the reason the game was good. It could have been someone else. It could have been a collective of multiple people. That's why you should never get tricked by that.
We'll probably not see a Titanfall 3. Unfortunately, I think EA is...
like, what's the name? The GTA wannabe. The one with like robots and all that. But they like advertised as the next GTA or whatever. And it turned out to be like a Roblox multiverse kind of thing. Shit. Mind's Eye. like the dev from Mind's Eye, or the narrative director, was from someone who worked at GTA or Rockstar. Look at how that turned out. Complete garbage, right? Like, you can't trust
going to Kegel on that property forever and never use it for anything ever again because they didn't perform financially well for them. Yeah. Even though these games are beloved, I don't think we'll ever see a new entry into this franchise. But I really was starting to buy into the fantasy here because he's mentioning that a lot of people responsible for those masterpieces have broken off.
Mechas just aren't popular anymore, if they even were in the first place. So yeah, there's probably not gonna be another like a big mega game like that.
And are now pursuing something new together, and you're expecting like maybe it's in a similar vein to Titanfall. You know, Professor Utonium's in the lab and he's putting together all the ingredients of the perfect little shooter. But that wasn't what was on the menu. Instead, what was served up on the plate was a seemingly standard hero shooter.
Yep.
Now, I always
have a great time watching. And the heroes themselves don't seem that good.
In the Game Awards this year, I also had a lot of fun watching it. I just really don't understand why they would say
I think the Game Awards this year was pretty good. I understand the last game that was supposed to be like the big hype, like the biggest title, like wasn't really one. But I think overall, it was like a good show, right? Like they released a lot of good games, a lot of good world first, like Divinity by Larian, which I will play. I pretty much didn't beat Baldur's Gate because I had a really shitty PC. Like even the opening cinematic, when the ship crashes down, it took me like 30 minutes for my PC to load that. I do have a new one, so I might replay it. Same with what's it called? The Mist Zone in Act 2. It was Act 2, right? Yeah. I couldn't play that part just because, again, there was so many particles that my PC would just crash randomly. And it's like, I heard part 3 or Act 3 just wasn't that good, so I never really bothered taking it again. Anyways, now they have more resources, more like time, and they're trying to make the scope bigger, like much better. Which hopefully it succeeds. So I love that. I love what I played of Baldur's Gate. I loved
final reveal, which is like always the most important reveal because it's the one that sticks with the viewers.
Actually, they added new classes. Maybe I should play it again, right? They had like a big update with like 100 classes. Then again, I was playing the dark. Oh wait, no. The Dark Urge is not a class. It's just like a special character. You can play the Dark Urge and like another class, right? And I could do a massacre run, right? Just kill everything possible.
The longest, and it's usually reserved for the one that's gonna fucking have them, gushing grannies. And having a generic hero shooter be in that place feels really odd, and a lot of people have been kind of clowning on it for it.
Bringing the heat.
Well, the problem is, okay, wasn't that just the Overwatch hit? What's his name? Not Bastion. Holy shit! Not the horse guy, like the big tank guy. Fuck, man, I can't remember. But that move he did right there, like smashing the ground. Like I swear, even first perspective, right? He went like that. I don't know. It just seems like a mix of Overwatch and Valorant.
Light belongs to me. Forming.
Like the walls, everything, I don't know. Even this being Jett's ultimate. There just isn't anything unique about it, I think.
It's not the most exciting looking game. It's not going to put you on the edge of your seat there. And it does give me a...
Was that me? Was that my computer? I don't think so.
Similar vibe to Concord when that was revealed, unfortunately. And a lot of people have taken to calling this Concord 2. Even though the game's not out or anything yet, it does kind of have a lot of similar DNA to it from the...
apparently there's Concord gameplay, the gameplay like director or something, is working on this game, and like some other one. I don't remember who, but there was like another Concord employee. So to be fair, it kind of is like Concord 1.5.
Look of the gameplay here.
Yeah.
And it just feels like a game that shouldn't have been saved for last as like the big hoorah. This should...
Yeah, they should have been in the pre-show. Like, this is a pre-show game trailer.
It should have just been a game that they show somewhere in the middle or towards the beginning where it's like, hey, this game's also right around the corner.
It's a generic hero shooter. It shouldn't be part of the main show, I feel like. There were trailers in the pre-show, which I felt were better than this, actually.
If you want another hero shooter, like if you're really selling...
But they were more unique, I guess.
For more hero shooter action, here comes Highguard. Like that makes sense. It just doesn't really compute why they would have this be the final reveal. I think what would have fit here best actually was the Star Wars KOTOR game. They have a new...
True, because people already knew about Divinity, the Baldur's Gate game. So that wouldn't have generated as much hype. I never heard anything about the Star Wars Fall of the Old Republic or whatever game. So that would have actually been like out of left field, right?
KOTOR coming out called Fate of the Old Republic, and that was extremely hype. I think if they had saved Fate of the Old Republic for the final reveal, that would have been a big pop-off moment. Because that is something that a ton of people, myself included...
Yeah, I'm guessing they charge based on at what point you want your game trailer to be. Right? Which is a net negative, right?
Cannot wait for. And now I need to go back and replay KOTOR 1 and 2.
He fucked up putting that at the end.
So cool.
Where the most
that is something people have really
should
wanted. Whereas with Highguard, I feel like there's more people asking for the common cold than more hero shooters.
Yep.
And especially from such a talented team that have put together games like Titanfall, you would hope that they'd spread their wings a bit more than just like a hero shooter game. So,
well, it doesn't even seem like Titanfall, right? Like the movement-wise, it's just generic. They saw like, what's his name, Overwatch. They're like, oh, people like this. Oh, look at Valorant. Oh, people like this. Let's mix them together. There's like no identity from what I've seen.
It's just one of those things that is underwhelming for a final game reveal. Yep. Anyway, though, I had a great time watching the Game Awards, as I do every year. It's become a tradition, and I always think Jeff Keighley and his team put on a really impressive and really entertaining show, and I really appreciate all the hard work that goes into it. Though I will say,
as someone who didn't see any like leaks or anything like that, I thought it was like pretty good. Like it was worth the watch.
I think this year there is a lesson to be learned in the amount of nominations a game can get. With the E3,
he's probably gonna say it had too many nominations. I completely agree. Another thing I agree with is it winning RPG of the year. I feel like I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to like hate on the game just because it's popular. But I think Kingdom Come Deliverance or Kingdom Come 2. As an RPG, I think it's just better.
33 sweep. I do think there maybe needs to be some kind of limitations in place.
Yeah,
I said from the
it's just boring when you already know the results, right? It's like, oh, I wonder who's gonna win this one. Oh, look, it's this game.
From the second the credits rolled on that game, that it was special, and it is in my top 20 favorite games of all time. I think it is a full-blown, full fucking chub masterpiece. But that being said, I don't think it should be in every category that it was in, even if it could fit into that category. Like, the most contentious is the indie game category. While, yes, it is, by definition, an indie game, I do feel like it...
Dude, didn't they make the game to, like, 10 million? Like, I guess in terms of games, that would be considered indie. But I feel like an indie game, in my like opinion, is like 4 guys in their like garage making a game. Like, for example, like Megabonk, wasn't that like 1 guy?
It shouldn't be there to give room to other games to shine in that category. Like, it is an unbelievable game.
Yeah.
And by being as good as it is, and in every category that it was present, it drowned out a lot of other extremely impressive games from this year. 2025 was...
If you just saw the Game Awards themselves, I didn't see like anything else game-related, it would seem like there was only like 1 good game this year. It being like Expedition. And there was a lot more.
Genuinely an amazing year for games. There were so many super slappers, absolute bangers out the wazoo, but if you only watch the Game Awards, you would think that it was just Expedition 33, really.
He agrees.
And that's a shame. I do think E33 deserves like the Game of the Year win and many of its other wins.
Sure.
Because I do think that does epitomize what the games industry should be about. A team of passionate creators that all banded together under very unlikely circumstances with a very wild way of assembling this team of creatives to create something that's really not been done before to the degree in which they did.
I heard it was good. I heard the game was good, so I didn't watch, or I tried not to watch anyone play it. So when I do play it at some point, there's like no spoilers or anything like that. So I can't really comment on this.
The budget that they had, apparently less than $10 million. It is an unreal story, and the person at the head of Sandfall, he is like a gamer's gamer. That guy, I've watched a couple of his interviews, he is always singing the praises of the GOATs that have came before him, and he's not just doing lip service.
Nice.
He knows his shit. Like, this is a guy who lives and breathes this medium that wanted to do something truly special in it, and I think they succeeded, and it's great to see the reception be as positive as it is to their art. I'm very happy for that team, and I think it deserves all of the glaze that it gets. But when it comes to the Game Awards, I just think it would have been best if it was reserved for, a handful of the categories that it was nominated in.
Sure.
And I also think that would have been better for Expedition 33 overall as well, because when people who aren't...
I know what he's gonna say, when people see something winning too much, they develop exhaustion or like a hatred. Where it's like, look at it, it's winning again. Like they just get tired of it, and because of that, they might not even like try the game, even though they could love it.
Overly familiar with it, see it keep winning everything. It makes them
like, to be fair, this happened to me with Fortnite. Nah. I did play Fortnite, to be fair. I played like 2 matches. I thought it was boring. Like, I stopped. But I had the same experience with Fortnite where everyone was playing it. Everyone was like streaming it, putting videos on it. And I thought the game just looked... to me, Fortnite looked like, what's it called? Oh, shit. Whatever this game was. Here. Like this game. To me, it looked like this game, but with, like, building. Just building. I tried it out, I thought it was boring, I stopped.
Tired of it. It makes them soured on E33
Why did I even
as
say
a whole.
That?
I saw a comparison drawn by a lot of people about like the Patriots when they were on their dynasty run winning everything. People fucking hated the Patriots because they were so good.
Is he talking about like Metal Gear in terms of the Patriots? Or is he talking about like real life, the Patriots?
Expedition 33 is having a similar phenomenon. It won so much, people now just hate it by default. It's like they don't want to engage with it anymore. They'd rather spit and shit on it and that kind of thing. I just overall feel like less is more in this case, where it'd be in its strongest categories, like voice acting, narrative, music, and Game of the Year.
Sorry, I gotta comment on this. His beard is standing up, right? You should put it down, no?
That kind of thing, as opposed to like
Because like this, it's just gonna get a lot of debris and like just dirt on it, right? Like dust.
13 categories, because it is a lot, and it does unfortunately push out some of the other extremely good games from the year. Like Kingdom Come 2 didn't win anything, but I feel like
Kingdom Come 2, from what I've heard and seen, it's like a 8 out of 10 or like a 9 out of 10. That's what like the main thing I've heard.
By all definitions, it should have won Best RPG of the year. It's just, I love Expedition 33, and I'm super happy to see it do so well.
I gotta go back to it.
But for the awards here, I would really have liked to be able to celebrate some of the other great games that also came out this year. Yep. Like I said, this was an extraordinary year for banger titles releasing, especially in the indie category. So many good indie games.
Dude, this is a bit of a weird year, though. I mean, it feels like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, it came out last year, right? That's what it feels like. Like, a lot of the games that were good, they came out towards, like, the beginning of the year, didn't they?
Games came out this year. But anyway, I'll stop yapping about it. That's really about it. See ya.
Alright. I'm not gonna lie, I still don't know why people hated on it that much. Like, yes, it was like a shitty trailer to put at the end. But overall, the awards were good. They were, like, amazing. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. Like, just... Like, the whole problem, I didn't really see it. Like, oh, it's a shitty game. I'm just not gonna play it. I'm just not gonna, like, interact with it. Done. Anyways, I'm gonna put the video in the description if you wanna check out the original video. I think that's it. Peace.